Hello and welcome to another wonderful adventure with Tan Pants.
We all made it back alive, and you're listening, so we want to treat you.
So you're alive as well.
We hope.
We hope you're... It'd be kind of weird if you're not alive and listening to this right now.
No, I don't think the podcast gets distributed there.
Yet.
I don't know.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was kind of
an
morbid.
intro.
You want to hear something else morbid?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you're on an airplane.
Wait, hang on. I got a quick
You're on
question.
an airplane.
Okay.
I got a quick question.
Answering.
Isaac, what'd you eat for breakfast this morning?
I didn't.
Same.
That's unhealthy.
I didn't eat until 5.
That's very unhealthy.
Dude,
This is what I eat when I'm hungry. I was hungry at 5.
Isaac, we have to talk about your anorexia.
My anorexia is just fine.
are you a criminal?
I am a criminal.
Criminals only eat till 5, you know.
Is that how you tell? Okay, line up. Who's the criminal?
What did you have for breakfast this morning? I only ate like 5 minutes ago.
I had wheat toast. It is not that man.
Exactly. You picture a cold-blooded killer. He's not eating Wheaties in the morning.
I don't need anything in the morning.
That's right. I'm concerned. But
Don't be.
go ahead.
Okay, back to what I was talking about at the beginning. You're on an airplane, right?
Right.
What's one of the thoughts you have at one point at least during this plane ride?
I really hope I don't have to do a number 2.
Same. Exactly the same.
What?
Yes.
That's what I think of.
Okay, here's one horrible thought that comes at least once for me.
Okay.
I'm sitting in that seat. I'm like, what if my seat just falls?
You think about this?
At least once a trip.
What?
That's on the least of my
I don't
concerns.
think that'll happen
I
because
think
the
of a
planes,
hijacking,
A hijacking.
and I gotta stop it using my karate moves. Watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
Dude, he
And
could like
you're-
slice a bread in half.
I did have. I mean,
and your
you-
MacGyver blood.
I mean, MacGyver blood. You guys couldn't see that because you're listening to audio, but Clay gave me chills. the voices that he struck just now were so intimidating.
I'm pretty sure there was like some
I gotta
geometry going on there.
I got to animate him like slicing a bread in half with his hand in midair.
Clay used geometry.
Yeah, he paid attention in school.
Geometry.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you fall out of this plane and you don't have a parachute.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happens to you?
You probably would die.
That's correct. Probably.
Oh no.
Is there like something to like stop the fall damage?
Water?
Unless you're Peggy Hill from King of the Hill, she survived.
She survived.
She landed in mud.
Oh, and landed in mud.
Ouch. Still, that would hurt.
One of the best things to land in are snow and trees. So several people
Okay.
have fallen from planes
Yep.
from great height and have survived.
If you think about falling, you can fall really, really long, but as long as you reach terminal velocity, you're
Think of
not
a-
going any faster.
Think of a happy
So-
thought.
Yeah, so to jump from an airplane or to jump from like 4 stories is like, I would think I'm not a physicist, but I would think it'd be the same kind of damage and speed.
Well, yeah. Once you reach a certain height, like 4 stories is usually the kill height for a human being.
Yeah.
It depends on your weight, of course. If you're a really light person, then you could survive that fall. You're still going to get hurt.
Let's do it.
Right.
You're still going to get hurt. But depending on how you land and where you land, you could survive.
So you're saying if I know I'm about to get kicked out of a plane and I don't have a parachute on, I could signal somebody like chop off a limb or 2 and be lighter and then increase my chances of survival?
So if you have enough time on the way down, if you had a hacksaw with you, you could begin hacking off limbs, leaving the one limb you used to hack.
That'd be extremely
And
uncomfortable.
if you don't die of shock or blood loss, you probably will survive. Yeah, you'll be just fine.
But once you hit the ground, I mean, what are you gonna do now? You know what I mean?
You're laying there
legs.
bleeding with your flailing hack knife.
I didn't want to see that in my mind.
That's horrible. So here's the world record. It goes to Vinca Vulvovic.
Was he Italian?
She was from country.
She was from country.
She was from country. I'm looking at this little graph right here. It doesn't tell you what country she was from. I have the information on
Is
another
she
page.
near Australia?
No,
Korea.
Yugoslavia.
Oh,
It
okay.
was Yugoslavia. She fell 33,000 feet.
Wow.
Wow.
What'd she land on?
She was so.
A purple mattress.
I was okay. Let's go ahead and talk about her for a minute. So she was a flight attendant on this
Okay.
airline, and Yugoslavia was going through some problems.
Well,
they had political groups who were getting violence and wanted to
Yeah.
upset the government.
So
And
Tuesday.
Yeah. These terrorists were putting bombs in places and blowing things up and killing people. And she was on this airline, and she was the only survivor. They put a bomb in a briefcase in the plane, and they detonated the bomb at 33,000 feet.
How did this
wow.
briefcase get past security?
This was the 70s.
It's Yugoslavia. They have no
Yugoslavia
security.
in the 70s. They
Yeah.
say, you have bag?
What's
Bring
in the bag? They said, hey, what's in that bag? What's in that sketchy ticking bag? And they said, don't worry, this is just where I keep my Fruit Loops, man.
They say, is small dog.
It's like, what's in the
Okay,
bag?
fine.
I don't know. What's on your face?
Oh, it was such a burn. Everybody
Oh.
had to turn away.
Everyone was like, sick burn, man.
burn.
Welcome aboard.
Let this man out.
No, it was horrible. People died. Except
okay.
for her. So when this bomb goes off, she is in the part of the plane where they get the refreshments, you know? She has that little trolley cart that she goes down the aisle with the canned out drinks and snacks.
Okay.
This thing, that cart
Yeah.
pins her
Oh, wow.
against the wall,
Oof.
and the plane breaks apart.
So she was inside of the plane when it hit the ground?
She was inside the plane, but that plane was falling at a good speed, like normal plane falling speed.
That would be terrifying.
But it's more than terminal velocity because now you're in something that exceeds your own weight. So its terminal velocity is greater than you would be on your own.
oh, wow.
So they're not exactly sure why she survived. But she was pinned in the plane underneath this cart, and this thing breaks apart in the air and falls down, falls 33,000 feet, and it lands in snow and trees. So that cushioned the fall somewhat. And because she's in a giant thing, that protected her from any wood or any, tree parts that could stab her. She fractured her skull, broke 3 vertebrae, and both legs. But she did survive. And later she said, to this day, I enjoy traveling and have no fear of flying.
Even though
She can fly.
She can fly. She also had no memory of the events, so that probably helped a little bit too.
Yeah.
I would imagine if a big boom goes off and you get pinned to something and then all of a sudden like rushing wind and you could hardly open your eyes because it's going so fast. You know, like skydivers wear those big glass thingies.
They
on
were
their
like
eyes.
pool goggles.
They wear pool goggles. I mean, I would imagine boom and you get pinned and then all this wind and this fast and this, and then you'd probably just black out.
Yeah. Another thing that they say helped her was she had abnormally low blood pressure.
Oh, I guess that would help with the high altitudes or something.
Yeah. They said that's why her heart did not burst.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
To be a flight attendant, she actually had to take some blood pressure tests, and she knew that she had low blood. She knew she had low blood pressure.
Okay.
So to kind of cheat the test, she drank a lot of coffee.
Oh, that lowers your blood pressure?
That brings it up, I guess.
Weird.
Whatever she did, she got on to the crew.
Yeah.
Her low blood pressure helped with her survival.
Nice.
There were a lot of other situations.
Oh, yeah.
Another person that survived a crazy fall was Royal Air Force Rear Gunner Sergeant Nicholas Alchemade. He was in a Lancaster bomber that caught fire. His parachute was destroyed in the flames, and he's like, well, might as well jump. I don't want to burn to death. So he jumped.
Sounds reasonable.
He jumped at 18,000 feet.
No parachute?
No parachute.
Wow.
He landed in a deep drift of snow in a pine forest outside of Berlin. The snow and the trees appeared to have cushioned his blow. When he was discovered by the Gestapo, who at first did not believe his story, his only injuries were a broken wrist and a leg.
What? That's it? That's all he got away with?
That's all he got away with.
A broken wrist and a leg.
Yes.
Are you okay? Yeah.
They said, what happened to you? Oh, I fell out of an airplane.
They're like,
A gunner jet is caught on fire. I just jumped.
yeah, right.
We don't believe you.
You are lying to us. There's no way. Okay, another person who survived a crazy skydiving thing was Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls?
Bear Grylls.
The one
Bear
and
Grylls
only?
what?
The one and only.
Ooh.
Bear Grylls everything. So in 1966, Bear Grylls was in training in the military.
Is that this person's name?
Bear Grylls, yeah.
Yeah, the survival guy.
Josh, do you not know who Bear Grylls is?
I don't.
Dude,
What?
He drinks his pee.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, he's the
drinks
only
it.
guy.
That's intense.
He's
He's
like
the guy who drinks his pee.
He's like his face is on every box of trail mix in the world.
He's like
He's the outside guy.
The box says, "I drink my pee, eat this trail mix."
And
I don't
enjoy
think I've ever
it.
seen anybody's face on trail mix.
I don't know. I was just saying, I mean,
But
trail
that
mix
would
is,
make sense.
trail mix is like the outdoor
Like
snack.
people put like Shaq on every grill or
Oh
something.
yeah, because Shaq is like he's
Shaquille.
he's associated with food more than like
But-
food is.
he doesn't drink his pee, or survive 16,000-foot drop.
That's pretty.
So during
impressive.
during a skydive over Zambia, Bear Grylls, his parachute failed to inflate at 16,000 feet.
Wow.
He said, "I should have cut the main parachute and gone to the reserve, but thought there was time to resolve the problem. So he thought he could fix the main parachute. He thought, the sun's tangled back here. I'll just fix this." But by
So-
the time he realized this was too late, it was too
So
late
he
to-
goes, I'm falling out of an airplane, and I'm really, really high. I'm going fast, and I'm ready to pull the chute. So that means I'm fairly close to the ground, but it doesn't deploy. So my first immediate thought is, oh, no problem. I'll just, fix it real quick.
I'll fix it.
I'll just
instead of
pop
going for
under the
spare."
hood, pop under the hood, see what's going on.
He had a reserve.
I guess he
He
was.
had a reserve he didn't use for some reason. He thought he could fix the main thing.
Yikes.
So he ended up coming to Earth on his parachute pack, fracturing 3 vertebrae in the process.
What is it? He landed on his back?
Then on his back, on his pack.
Wait, did he take off his pack and like put it like on his feet or something?
No, he landed on his back.
Okay.
What he did was he threw his backpack right as he was getting to the ground. He threw it, and then his feet touched the backpack before touching the earth, and then he jumped.
Yes, that's what happened.
You see what I'm saying? And then he
Yeah.
would just jump off the backpack, which was like 2 feet off the ground, and then he hit the
Yeah.
ground.
There was an old Bugs Bunny cartoon where maybe Bugs Bunny, I think it was Bugs Bunny, he was locked in a phone booth, something like that, and Elmer Fudd pushes him off a cliff.
Oh,
And this phone booth is like falling to the ground.
okay.
And Bugs he's calm. He's unlocking the phone booth, or untying it, opens up the door, and right before it hits the ground, he steps out of the phone booth onto the ground, and he's fine. And the phone booth crashes. When I was young, I thought about that for hours, thinking, is that possible? Can I do that? Because it looked like it worked.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
No.
To my young brain, it made logical sense.
I mean, have you ever stepped out of a phone booth and immediately got crushed into the ground?
Never.
Never. It doesn't happen. So,
I trust phone booths.
yeah.
Although Bear Grylls, his spinal cord was intact, he spent the next year undergoing 10 hours a day of rehabilitation, including psychotherapy, swimming, and ultrasound treatment.
But that would have been like so bad.
Yeah.
18 months after the accident, he reached the summit of Mount Everest.
Nice.
Okay.
One more story to kind of bring it.
A steaming glass of. I'm joking.
It's Peggy Hill, King of the Hill.
So going back to, remember I was talking about your seat falling out?
Yeah. Has it ever happened?
1971.
Nobody ever.
Julianne Kopecky, she was 17 flying over the Peruvian rainforest with her mother when her plane was hit by lightning.
Oh, wow.
She says, I was in free fall, strapped to my seat bench and hanging head over heels.
What's a seat bench?
The chair you sit on?
Okay.
But it was the whole bench.
Yeah, that bench came out.
Oh, so it's like
Okay.
Imagine-
So she had 2 people next to her.
No, I think it was just her.
She in the middle? They
She
stuck
was-
her in the middle
No, this
by
is
herself?
This is a tiny plane.
Oh,
A tiny
Tiny
plane.
plane
She
that
was
had a
flying
bench.
it.
Whoa. She was 17.
So the
Yeah.
cockpit had a bench?
She was a 17-year-old pilot?
Yep, you bet.
Okay.
Cool.
Go on.
She was in free fall, strapped to the seat bench, hanging head over heels. She was spinning.
Oh.
She said the only sound she could hear was the wind in her ear.
Yeah.
She survived a 2-mile fall and found herself alone in the jungle with a broken collarbone and deep cuts in her legs. Oh,
She
this
just-
wasn't a tiny plane.
Wait.
All other 91 passengers in the flight had been killed.
Oh, yikes.
She was the only survivor.
She was a 17-year-old pilot of like
No, okay.
a jumbo jet.
I am telling a wrong story here.
Okay.
She was a passenger. She did not fly the plane. I thought.
okay.
Okay, so the way this first. Okay, hey, writer for BBC. It says here on Christmas Eve, Julianne Kopeck was flying. She was flying over the Peruvian rainforest.
Oh, but she was a passenger. So
She was a passenger.
She was she was participating in flight.
She was with other 92 people. So yeah, all the other 91 people were killed. So despite of only having a single bag of sweets for sustenance and being clad in only a sleeveless miniskirt, Kopik, who spent a year and a half with her parents at a research station in the rainforest, was familiar with the terrain. On her 10th day, she found a group of lumberjacks who took her to civilization.
Wow, that's pretty lucky.
Wow.
falls out of plane.
Strapped to your seat as you're spinning.
So she's spinning, hits the ground, and then she's like, "Oh, my collarbone."
Oh, my legs, they have deep cuts.
Yeah, but they're not broken.
Thank goodness she could walk around still.
I know.
Imagine.
And then she gets up and she goes, "Oh, I know this place."
she's like, oh, well, good to be home, I guess.
Oh, that was a quick flight.
You know, if I
mean-
had a nickel for every time I fell into the rainforest, I'd have like 0 nickels.
Yeah.
But she would have 1.
She'd have at least one nickel.
Yes, she would. In fact.
So, yeah, I mean, next time you're in an airplane and you think about what happens if I fall, you might get lucky.
Okay, that's
Or
a little
not.
bit of hope.
Or you might get really lucky and not fall at all.
See, I always thought about like, you know, those inflatable things by the door.
Oh, I thought like at car dealerships.
No,
You know,
no,
those inflatable things.
Those little dancing noodle
entertainment
dudes.
noodle guys.
Those entertainment
Noodle
noodles.
guys.
No, no. I'm talking about like either the flotation device under your seat, or like when you open up the emergency exit, that big thing that inflates itself and becomes a water slide.
Yeah, the water slide.
So
you could have just said water slide.
Okay, so if your plane is in trouble, just go for the water slide.
Yeah, go
and
for
then
the
just
river crack.
slide it down.
Well, I think the problem with all these stories.
Yeah.
So, and one of them, Bear Grylls, he jumped out
Yeah.
with a parachute. Another one, the guy jumped out of the plane because his parachute had burned.
Right.
Another one, a lady, you know, was trapped in the plane as it was falling.
Right.
And in this last one, Julie was her name, I think.
Mm-hmm.
She was strapped to her seat, and the thing breaks free, and everything's dead, and you're spinning. So, I mean, what was it you said?
Pretty lucky.
Pretty lucky.
Pretty lucky. Well, I don't know why. I mean, airlines are pretty wealthy, right?
The wealthiest in the world, the finest, richest men.
I mean,
own airplanes.
yes, but
They say,
Don't you
How
think-
many people did you ferry across the world this year, Victor?
what if every seat, like under every seat, was a parachute?
Yeah,
I mean, would that
expensive
not
that would be.
I don't know if that would be crazy.
Can you imagine
expensive,
90
but-
people trying to jump out of the plane with their
Well,
parachutes?
think about every seat has a TV on the back. Just substitute the TV for a parachute, and you probably, you know,
You got more live people and less rotten children.
all of a sudden your plane gets hit by lightning, and you see like 100 passengers floating down on parachutes. It would look like the Russians invading.
Victor, how many parachutes did you stuff under the seats of your passengers? 7.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to me.
It's
I
like you
guess.
see all the instructional videos, like, in case of a crisis, calmly pull out your thing. And everybody be like, no.
Calmly take out your parachute. Find someone who's certified to jump with a parachute. Get them to climb on your back and
But not before signing that waiver.
sign the waiver in case the parachute
I
doesn't. If
imagine,
the
like,
parachute doesn't work,
flames and everything.
don't try to fix it. Hit the second line.
Unless you're
What
Bear
if like
Grylls.
all the parachutes except for one have like an anvil in them?
One of your parachutes has an anvil.
Man,
No,
this parachute
all
is
of them
like
have
really
anvils. All of them except for one.
Whoa.
One works, and you don't know which one it is.
Who's the lucky
like,
guy?
Why is this parachute so heavy?
It's
Can't
like-
even lift it.
Man,
It's
beats
like-
me. Why is mine so light?
This parachute's so light.
Then
Well,
everybody jumps
goodbye.
on him, and yeah, that would be a great idea. It's kind of like those game show things that like shows. I
Where
guess.
they're like jump out with an anvil.
check. No, he said check under your seat to see who won.
Oh, that's
the prize."
that's just Oprah.
Is that
It's
Oprah?
not even a game show. It's Oprah.
I could have sworn I saw it like on a Monk episode or something.
Maybe.
You know Monk,
Yeah, I know
the
Monk.
TV show.
They're
Monk?
probably spoofing Oprah a little bit because that's what Oprah does.
Oh, okay, cool. Or like a magic show.
Yeah, a
Who's
magic
got
show.
the Ace of Spades
under your seat? And everyone looks down like, I have a 3, I have a 2, and like, one of them out there has it.
I don't have anything, but I have a 2. I don't know about this ace. Wow. Okay, so that's pretty impressive. It sounds like those are some lucky.
Lucky duckies.
Let me try to think. I'm trying to think of the word like special.
Yeah.
people.
Like in heaven, there's gonna be a special club for people who survived Great Falls.
Do you know what else is awesome and kind of special?
Tell me, Max.
I'll tell you what. It's Heinz. They will. Did you know that they will reward those in traffic driving at the speed of its ketchup flow?
Heinz
What?
57.
Hot Burger King just like partnered with Waze so that you get like free ketchup if you drive at like 0.045.
Hang on.
Why do I just want
kilometers an
ketchup?
hour.
Hang on. Did you just say hot Burger King?
Heinz and Burger King.
Heinz and-
it's hot.
Hot Burger King. So hang on. So Heinz and Burger King did what?
They partnered.
They partnered up. Okay.
Yeah.
To do what?
Heinz and
with
Burger King.
Waze.
Whose ways?
It's the app.
It's the
Don't
app.
You know Waze?
oh.
You know, it's the third party traffic app that nobody uses.
Yeah.
I use Waze.
Yeah.
Max uses it.
I've almost unlocked Batman.
Except for people in Israel, Waze is like smarter than Google Maps there and stuff.
yeah, Waze is smarter than
Yeah,
me.
because Waze is smarter.
So they're giving out ketchup?
Yep.
Why would I want ketchup?
I don't know.
I
And
get
you have
it
to drive
free at every
you have to
restaurant.
drive super slow for it.
That's like every drive-through window says, "You guys want extra ketchup?" You go, "No,
No.
I don't want your ketchup."
They're like, are you sure?
And if you say yes, they will stick like 2 full hands of those packets, and they will just dump it in those
Yeah.
bags.
Because they have to take it home.
And then you got
If
to
you don't
sort.
take it.
You got to sort through the sea of ketchup packets to get to your stuff.
Listen, I could walk into almost any fast food place with a cup and go to the ketchup plunger thing
You could,
and just start taking
And you
ketchup.
could just start pumping.
and
I
nobody
don't
would
need-
stop you.
I don't need an app to get free ketchup.
But if you want extra barbecue sauce, they are stingy.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
They're like, I don't know about that.
Unless you go to Arby's. Arby's has all the plungers.
You ask nicely for it, and they give
Right.
it to you like, well, I guess my kids aren't eating tonight.
Pretty much.
What? I just feed my kids barbecue packets.
So hang on, let's start over. Joshua has just said that Burger King and Heinz have teamed up with the app Waze
it's Heinz.
Yeah.
to give people free ketchup if they travel at the speed of their ketchup coming out of a bottle.
That's
I don't
pretty
know
slow.
if that's it. If that's it, maybe
Is that what you said?
0.045 kilometers an hour. No.
Okay, so-
I'm not a European,
What is
so I don't know what.
what is the
imagine that's pretty
temperature? What is the temperature of the ketchup? Because if it's colder, it'll come out slower.
Listen,
is it
thi-
room temperature?
This
True.
this is a boring question.
Yeah.
Joshua,
Being stuck in a this is the article saying being stuck in exhausting and never-ending traffic is always a summer pain, but this year it doesn't have to be thanks to Heinz.
you can start eating ketchup as you wait.
Through a
What?
partnership with Waze and Burger King, Heinz will be identifying those stuck in traffic driving at the same speed of its slow-pouring ketchup at 0.045 kilometers an hour.
and do
That is
what?
135 feet an hour.
What?
And do what?
Satisfying their taste buds with Heinz ketchup and an Impossible Whopper from Burger King.
Okay, so they're already getting a hamburger.
Okay, so they're
So-
actually getting something. Not
You're
just
stuck in
ketchup.
traffic, and then all of a sudden they come in on a helicopter and freaking just lower it on a rope, and they say, "We know traffic is a big deal in the summertime. Here's your food."
No, that's not what they're saying. They're saying if you have the Waze app and you ever are stuck in traffic with a large group of other people,
Okay.
it probably won't work if you just sit in your driveway and slowly move.
There's a guy in a helicopter coming in. He's like, "Here you go, stupid kid."
I'm supposed to get a
gonna-
toy with this.
You're going to receive a little notification that says, come down to Burger King for your free Impossible Whopper.
While you're in traffic.
Great. Now I have to drive.
like, well, honey, do you want to make a pit stop? I can take the free Whopper. I guess you can just watch me eat.
Oh, that's a pretty terrible idea. Burger King. Where are you
It
trying to go
seems
with
like
that?
a bad idea.
Maybe it's a great idea.
You can do better, Burger King.
They really can't.
This is it. This is as good as it gets, guys. This is the best idea we've ever had.
It's almost as bad as the
Oh,
Shaquille O'Neal pizza.
This is only in Canada. This is Heinz Canada, not
This is
Heinz.
just Canada?
It's just Canada, guys.
Oh,
Canadians can download
Because you know
Waze.
the summer Canadian highways.
Canadians
boy.
can download Waze and check their speed from Thursday. Oh, this is only from June 3rd to June 4th?
Oh, come on.
What?
Uh,
This is like
What?
the steepest ripoff.
This is like,
That's so dumb.
This is like a day, 24
I'm
hours.
gonna get stuck in traffic today.
Come on, everyone, let's drive and get stuck in traffic for a free, impossible, not meat Whopper.
Oh, hold on. I was wrong. I got the months mixed up. June 3rd to July 4th.
a little bit better.
So when you're at 4th of July, you're driving real slow all month.
I saved up all my
Listen,
earnings.
catch up.
This is Canada. 4th of July doesn't exist.
Oh.
They have Canada Day, right?
They have Canada Day that has.
What do they do?
It has more moose.
What do they do? What could you do? What's better than fireworks?
I imagine more fireworks.
What's better than fireworks and tank tops?
Oh my!
Because every American goes outside with their cutoff shirt
Watching
and flip flops.
watching Rambo at the drive-in.
Yep. Shooting fireworks
I
out
bet
of
you
their
like
car.
the Canadian marketers at Heinz were just like, what?
So the marketers came up with the idea, or like, what?
How about we
Because
just make
it
it?
ends on July 4th for the
about-
chance to redeem this limited time offer,
Wow.
and are encouraged to share their reward moment with @Heinz_CA.
Let's
Share
do
your
this.
reward moment.
Let's do this.
Hashtag reward moment.
Let's do this. Isaac, you're in traffic right now.
Okay.
With Clay. You're in your car traveling, and I will be the Burger King ad.
Okay. Boy, I sure am happy we're traveling slowly along this Canadian road. Clay, you seen any moose yet?
Yes.
How many moose do you see? Let's count the
All
moose.
of them.
Hello, travelers. Weary traveler, you.
Oh my gosh, it's the radio.
I know that you're traveling very slow,
How does
and
he
it's
know
hot because it's summertime.
Actually,
you know
it's
how I know?
Canada.
Because it's Canada.
This radio man speaks my brain.
How would you like a free burger and some ketchup? Mainly ketchup.
Would I?
Come down to Burger King. I know you're driving. Keep driving. Come to Burger King.
Okay, I was going to stop.
Only from June 3rd to July 4th are we doing this. So come quick, you traveler, you.
Okay, that is
I'm
like,
almost excited enough to cuss.
that is like
Happy
0.
Independence. I
Point
didn't say
0.03
day,
miles
but I'm
an
such a
hour.
busy guy.
Wait, that's what?
That's like 0.03 miles an hour.
So that's basically stopped.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how long do you have to drive like that to get your free? It's like for
10
5
miles.
minutes.
I don't know.
10 miles of nothing? How did it do that?
Wow, Burger King, thank you.
How much
I'm not
ketchup?
too smart, but I think that won't work.
So for all of our Canadian listeners, if you have Waze and like ketchup,
And burgers. Don't forget the burgers.
go out and drive for a slow time to get your free hamburger from Burger King.
Here's Daniel Gottlieb, Associate Director,
We have
Brand
more?
Building and Innovation Kraft Heinz Canada. He says, and I quote, "We are thrilled to team up with Waze and Burger King to bring Canadians the meal synonymous with the summer and after sitting in weekend traffic. We know that there is nothing more satisfying than a delicious burger and Heinz ketchup."
So the meal that sums up summer in Canada is a fake meat burger
And
with
ketchup.
lots of ketchup.
Why would they want to associate themselves with traffic?
I know. Traffic is the most irritating thing.
Well,
And now, every time I'm in traffic, all I'm going to think about is that stupid burger.
they're talking
But
about
it's perfect because now they have you programmed.
They're saying it's the speed of their ketchup coming out.
It must be so
We've
slow.
said that.
Yeah,
We've said that.
yeah.
Haven't you like accidentally squeezed it at the wrong time and it all went pfft?
No,
Yeah.
Max. We're talking about the glass bottle, not the plastic bottle. You
Who
Philistine.
buys Heinz ketchup out of a glass bottle?
You don't, but it's at the restaurants.
Hoity-toity people
The
do that.
restaurants have the glass bottle.
Only people
I
like,
use the leftover packets.
Oh, come
that I
on.
find from underneath my couch.
Ew.
because it's still fine. Nothing got in it.
Ones
still-
that
It's still good.
It's sealed.
the ones
It's
that
fine.
It was resting on a doily.
I left the milk out for a week, but I never opened it. It's still fine.
It's fine.
it's Canada, man.
Canada. Nothing goes bad in Canada.
Too
So cold.
It's so cold up here.
Wow. So Josh, you interrupted me to bring us that.
Actually, not. This is actually the most epic segue ever.
See what? Do you have more to say? Was that your segue?
No, I'm waiting for you to pick it up.
Oh, okay.
I have the most awesome story in the world.
Yeah, tell us.
Well, it's probably not the most awesome story in the world, but it was interesting.
Okay, so now you're hedging.
I'm sorry, I backpedaled a little bit
You
too
did.
far there.
You came out strong and said, "Well,
right.
actually."
Actually.
So my dad read me a story one time. It was actually yesterday,
Oh, okay.
and he wasn't just reading it to me. Like there was a couple of people there, and he was like, "Hey, remember that story about those Chinese kids?"
Oh, I was there too. Yeah, that was weird.
So I have that story.
You're just gonna read this story to us?
I'm gonna read you guys a story.
Okay.
This is a kid's story, and I on the internet I was looking it up because I was trying to bring it to the podcast today.
Okay. But before you go on, I have a few questions because I only
Okay.
heard. I was half listening to this story. I was doing something else.
Okay.
Where's this story from? Is this like like an old folktale?
It wasn't like super old. It's not folktale ish. Let me try to find the date. Oh, it is kind of old. 1938.
Okay, 30s from China.
So, yeah, it's a Chinese folktale.
Huh?
And then some lady, Claire Hutchett Bishop.
Claire Hutchett Bishop.
Yes, she. I don't know. She didn't write it, but she
She
rewrote it, reamped it with some illustrations.
like Rudyard Kipling with the Jungle Book.
Oh, yeah.
The Jungle Book was
It
a
was a
bunch
really
of old
yeah.
Indian stories that he put together.
Yeah, so it's something like that. Kind of in the 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
Whatever. But looking it up on the internet, a lot of people are like, this is racist. But I enjoyed the story, and I thought it brought some interesting twists. Once upon a time,
Strong start.
Max, this is taking too long.
there were 5 Chinese brothers, and they looked exactly alike.
It starts as saying there were 4 Chinese,
Five.
five Chinese brothers.
Yes, and they looked exactly alike. They're all twins.
Okay,
That's hilarious.
Quintuplets.
Yeah, they were quintuplets.
it was in the 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
They lived with their mother in a small town not far from the sea. The first Chinese brother could swallow the sea. The second brother had an iron neck. The third brother could stretch and stretch and stretch his legs.
what?
The fourth Chinese brother could not be burned. And the fifth Chinese brother could hold his breath indefinitely.
So the
Wow.
brother who couldn't be burned.
So these are like the Incredibles.
Yeah.
you're like, hey kid, nice face. You tried to burn him. He can't be burned.
Oh, yeah.
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 Every morning, the first Chinese brother would go fishing, and whatever the weather, he would always come back to the village with beautiful and rare fish, which he had caught and could sell at the market at a very good price. One day, he was leaving the marketplace, and a little boy stopped him and asked him if he could go fishing with him. No, it could not be done, said the first Chinese brother. But the little boy begged, and finally the first Chinese brother consented. Under one condition, he said, and that is that you shall obey me promptly. Yes, said the little boy. He promised. Early the next morning, the first Chinese brother and the little boy went down to the beach. Remember, said the first Chinese brother, you must obey me promptly. When I make a sign for you to come back, you must come back at once. Yes, said the little boy. He promised. Then the first Chinese brother swallowed the sea, and all the fish were left high and dry at the bottom of the sea, and all the treasure of the sea was laid uncovered. The little boy was delighted. He ran here and there, stuffing his pockets with strange pebbles, extraordinary shells, and fantastic algae.
Fantastic algae.
Wow. So he
Oh,
badlands
boy.
his chug.
Algae.
Yeah.
So hang on. Is this person's name just Chinese brother?
Yeah.
Yep. Chinese brothers.
It's the first Chinese brother,
Okay.
the one that could swallow the sea.
Is everyone else Chinese?
Yes, it's the 5 Chinese brothers.
No, I mean everyone.
Except for the child.
Is this
It's just
boy
a
Chinese
child.
too? This child?
Yes, they live in a small Chinese town.
Why do they have to specify that the Chinese brothers every time?
Because they're Chinese brothers.
Because it's a Chinese folk tale. What do you...
Listen, if I'm telling an American folktale, I'm not like the American John Bunyan.
Okay. Anyways, back to the story. Near the shore, the first Chinese brother gathered some fish while he kept holding the sea in his mouth. Then he grew tired, and it was very hard to hold the sea in his mouth. So he made a sign with his hand to the little boy to come back. The little boy saw, but paid no attention.
Uh-oh.
The first Chinese brother made great movements with his arms. That meant, come back. But did the little boy care? No. Not
No.
a bit. He ran further away.
He had cool algae.
That's right.
The
first
Fantastic algae.
The first Chinese brother felt the sea swelling inside of him, and he made desperate gestures to call the little boy back. But the little boy made faces at him and fled as fast as he could.
He's about to get the ocean vomited at him.
The first Chinese brother held the sea until he thought his head was going to burst. All of a sudden, the sea forced its way out his mouth and went back to its bed, and the little boy disappeared.
Uh-oh.
When the first Chinese brother returned to the village alone, he was arrested and put in prison and condemned to have his head chopped off.
Ooh.
Oh, but he had an iron neck?
On the morning of his execution, he said to the judge, "Your Honor, will you allow me to go and bid my mother goodbye?" "It is only fair," said the judge.
Makes sense.
So the first Chinese brother went home, and the second Chinese brother came back in his place.
And he looks just like the other one.
Yes. All the people were assembled on the village square to witness the execution. The executioner took his sword and struck a mighty blow. But the second Chinese brother got up and smiled. He was the one with the iron neck and nobody could simply cut off his head.
And so did he have like an obviously iron neck?
No, he looked just like the other one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So nobody could tell the difference. Everybody was angry and declared that he should be drowned. On the morning of his execution, the second Chinese brother said to the judge, "Your Honor, will you allow me to go and bid my mother goodbye?" "It is only fair," said the judge.
Makes
So the
sense.
second Chinese brother went home, and the third Chinese brother came to take his place. He was pushed on a boat, which made for open sea. When they were far out in the ocean, the third brother was thrown overboard, but he began to stretch and stretch and stretch his legs way down to the bottom of the sea. And all the time his smiling face was bobbing up and down on the crests of the waves. He simply could not be drowned.
Okay.
Everybody was very angry, and they all decided that he should be burned. On the morning of his execution, the third Chinese brother said to the judge, "Your Honor, will you allow me to go and bid my mother goodbye?" "It is only fair," said the judge. So the third Chinese brother went home, and the fourth Chinese brother took his place. He was tied to a stake. The fire was set, and all the people stood around watching it. In the midst of all the flames, they heard him say, "This is quite pleasant." "Bring some more wood," the people cried. The fire roared higher. "No, it is quite comfortable," said the fourth Chinese brother, for he was the one who could not be burned.
Of course.
If you hadn't noticed already.
I was thinking for a moment it could be the ocean swallowing one, but then after he said he was comfortable, I was pretty sure he was the one who couldn't be burned.
Right. Everybody was getting more and more angry, and then they all decided to smother him.
Oh my.
Oh, no. They didn't try to drown?
Drowning is
Well,
like
they already tried that.
No,
They
they
don't
were
know
going to
that.
try to smother him.
drowning is just smothering with water.
Oh.
So, excuse me. The fourth Chinese brother went up to the judge and said, "Your Honor, will you allow me to go bid my mother goodbye?" And the judge
The
said,
judge is
like,
no.
enough goodbye.
No.
looked at him and he
He
said,
said goodbye 5 times.
clearly he's not seeing the pattern here. He said, "It's only fair."
Yes,
It's only fair, I guess.
so.
So the fourth Chinese brother went home, and the fifth Chinese brother took his place. And then the people made, and so the people made like a big brick oven, and they filled it with whipped cream.
Whipped cream?
Yes,
Okay.
and then they stuffed the fifth child in there, and then they closed the door to smother him.
With whipped cream.
Yes.
So there was like no breathing room in the whipped cream.
Oh yeah, you can't breathe in whipped cream.
No, have you ever tried that? It's crazy.
Yeah. And so they all stood around all night, and they said, "We are not going to be tricked this time. We will watch." So they stayed there all night and evening and a little after dawn just to make sure. When they opened the door and pulled him out, and he shook himself and said, "My, that was a good sleep." Everyone stared open-mouthed and round-eyed, but the judge stepped forward and said, "We have tried to get rid of you every possible way, and somehow it cannot be done."
We've tried every possible way we could think of.
That's right.
We got whipped cream. We got a boat. It's fire. I can't think of any other way.
So then the judge says, "It must be that you're innocent."
Oh,
"Yes, yes," shouted all the people. So they let him go, and he went home. And the 5 Chinese brothers and their mother all lived together happily for many years.
So they were very lucky that the one with the stretchy legs
Yeah.
Because I'm sure when they got home, like, hey, they're dropping the water.
Yeah.
The one that could hold his breath is probably like, oh, I'll do that.
The stretchy legs.
Stretchy legs, like, come on, what if there's whipped cream later?
Right. You couldn't just eat the whipped cream or anything. No way.
No, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Well, they could plan ahead and pick any of them. Like they could use the same brother twice.
I have so many questions about this story.
It's a weird one. It's a children's book.
Where did they get their powers?
Yeah, where their powers come from?
Chinese
Jesus.
Jesus.
I rest
Jesus.
my case.
There you go.
Wow. I mean, you said that was a folk tale?
Yeah. There's a Chinese folktale.
Okay.
Huh.
Nice. You know,
Yeah.
Chinese all are very creative.
Yeah.
They got Mario.
No, that's
Stretchy
Japan.
legs.
That's Japan.
That's Japan.
No, they had stretchy legs.
That's stretchy
Stretchy
legs.
legs.
Stretchy legs.
Yeah, stretchy legs.
They got
The whole-
Tiananmen Square.
Holding breath, man.
Hold 'em breath.
Good old Iron Neck.
The
Mao
swallower.
Zedong.
Orange
So yeah,
chicken.
I hope you listener were just sitting back with your feet up with some nice hot chocolate. And
I hope you
Enjoyed
enjoyed that story.
Anyways, transition. Anyways, now my topic.
Okay.
Okay, my topic is about inflation
Ooh.
and the market.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm going to start out by giving you some information.
Okay.
Okay, so first off, inflation fears are at the highest level since 2004 on Google. When you look at the Google search trends, it's at the highest level it's ever been since they've been keeping track of this in 2004.
Really?
right.
Yeah. Let's see here, but people looking up Great Depression is at the lowest level since 2004, and it should be noted that they're always in tandem. So inflation fears are always high when Great Depression fears are high. They've
Okay.
never been separate before.
Huh.
So people are always concerned about the Great Depression in relation to inflation
Yeah.
of the currency.
So are people like thinking, what does the word inflation mean?
Inflation.
And they're like Googling inflation.
It's kind of like a pizza when you put it in the oven.
You know, it
it goes like,
inflates like a balloon and it just inflates.
and you think there's more, but there's not.
it's just,
It's just the same amount.
you take a bite, there's just empty air inside this thing.
Exactly.
All right, so here,
Makes you
here it
fart
is.
more.
Inflation. Now, inflation's always been happening, but on the currency index, which compares currency values,
Right?
the U.S. dollar in 2017 was pretty high, and then it began to inflate. Sorry, beginning of 2017 it was high, and then it inflated by 14.4% by 2018. Yeah.
And that's bad. That's negative.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Okay.
It lost 14.4% of its value.
Wow.
Okay.
And then it recovered to 98% of what it was at the beginning of 2017 in 2020.
Okay. So it got better.
Yeah. And then it recently has crashed again to the same level it was at in 2018. And it actually held that, and it went up, but then fell right back down to where it was, which is what's called a double, and it's held that level. So that's what's called a double bottom pattern, which is typically a really bullish signal on the market. It means it's going to go up.
Right.
Right.
But if you look at that from 2017 down, that's an A, then it went up to a B, and now it's going down to a C, and it doesn't look like the C pattern would be done, which would be a bearish pattern, meaning it's going to go down.
Right.
Right.
And looking at that, it's very likely we're going to see over the next year, by the rest of 2021, a 10% market crash. I meant not market crash, but inflation.
On top of the 14 that we've already
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And all of this fear about it, though, is because the media has been really grooming the population about inflation fears. They've been really telling them, be scared, be afraid.
Right.
At the same time that they've been saying, the market's doing fine. It's doing fine.
What?
But, oh yeah, and the other one, how to day trade is at the highest search level it's ever been at before.
Wow.
Makes sense.
And the last time that people have been afraid of inflation but ready to invest in the market was in 1928 before the Great Depression. Retail traders over-speculated on stocks.
Right.
And it should be noted that the financial media, they always tell you to do what they're not doing. So they will buy stuff at the bottom, and then they'll turn around and tell you, don't buy it, sell.
Right.
And then when it reaches towards the top, they say, buy.
Yeah.
Right.
But then they sell. And they do it to like a weird way. They're like, well, if it were me, I would maybe think about selling. So they didn't actually tell you to sell.
Right.
They said they would think about it.
So all of a sudden you're like, maybe I would think about it too. And then
Yeah.
they do.
So it looks like it could be that they're setting people up to invest a lot
Yeah.
so that they could sell at the peak. because with the bullish pattern, although it goes down, I'm at the ABC pattern, it's very likely to go up. That's kind of the way that pattern works. It goes down, but then it recovers. So 2022, you would probably see the US dollar deflate, go back up in value. And one big thing that makes me really think about this is Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time. He is straight up Scrooge McDuckin all of this.
Really?
Whoa.
He has $80 billion in liquid cash right now.
I believe it.
Really?
That guy's crazy.
Like, he's not investing in the market. He's just holding it. He doesn't care about the inflation.
but why?
Really?
Because
Hasn't he ever heard of Doge?
I think he has. But but listen, that just means that he thinks the inflation is nothing compared to, is either temporary or it's nothing compared to what's going to come.
Oh, so just hold on to your cash?
Maybe. But like I'm saying, this data would show more about 2021. You probably do want to invest, but you want to pull out by 2022.
Oh.
None of this is financial advice, by the way.
Yeah, people.
Think about
I can't. You have to say that.
I would think about doing this.
I would think.
I remember when the whole GameStop thing came around. I was like, man, I should get into stocks. I'm a young guy.
So
I've never
many
done
people
this
did
before.
that.
Yeah.
So many people
And
thought
then,
about that.
when I jumped on it, I was like, wow, this is actually kind of a meme now. Tweeting like, in all my 2 days of doing stocks, this is the most insane thing I've ever seen.
When the pandemic stuff first started, I was dabbling in stocks a little bit, and I thought about buying a lot of AMC.
Really?
Because
You thought about that?
I thought because I knew that theaters were going to do bad, so it was going to go down.
I actually own some ANC.
AMC went up like crazy.
Yeah, I bought
But
some.
like I bought some when the big thing hit, and then we recovered a little bit, and then I was like, I don't want to just keep holding on to it. There's no need to, so I just sold it and then diversified it into other things. And
I got a pro gamer move going on with AMC right now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so I bought in on Friday,
Okay.
but I was going to do it in the morning, but I overslept.
Oh, no.
And then it crashed, and I was
And then you
like,
bought more?
hey.
Perfect.
So, and I formed an ABC pattern, and I was just going to wait for confirmation. So I bought in at $54, and it went up to $65, and then it started crashing. And then I was looking it up, and there's a lot of theories that there's a lot of market manipulation going on right now, and that they were trying to make the prices go down, the hedge funds.
Oh yeah, I totally believe it.
Yeah, and so I was thinking, wait, if it's going to be, you want to demoralize people, you want to end this week with it way down. So at
Right.
$47, I pulled out. It went down to 43 before the market closed, and now I've put it into my Bitcoin Cash. I'm really just like day trading it now. I think I've figured out a good enough pattern.
Yeah.
I can make like an extra percentage here and there
Pretty good. Pretty good.
That's cool.
to increase the value. And then on Monday, I'm going to buy back into AMC at that bottom because there's been a lot of media talking about it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to draw in more people to invest. It's going to draw the prices up. And to reciprocate some of the losses from that going to 47, I'm thinking about maybe setting up some call options because you can get a lot of money from those call options right now. Because of all the volatility, it's very high.
This has been Stonks with Clay.
This has been Stonks with Tan Pants.
Stonks. Your entertainment financial advice? Wait, no, not your financial
Tan
advice.
Pants recommends buying a dog. Maybe 2 dogs.
And a cat.
And not a cat. Don't buy
Don't
a
you
cat.
dare. Don't
Yes.
you dare.
We'll take one of our cats.
Cats,
Oh,
come
yeah.
and take
Take our
someone
cats.
else's cat.
That was code for buy Doge.
Buy Doge.
Yeah.
No, we have no idea what we're talking about. Clay does. I don't.
Play-Dohs.
Clay probably. I would listen to Clay about things. I would not
Sweet.
listen to me.
But sure, buy some Doge. It's like,
Josh
under
also has
$1,
no idea what he's talking about.
You know,
You know.
You know, the thing.
don't
The
be
thing.
stupid,
The
though.
thing. Isaac, do you have something like you're at a potluck and
You're walking
you
down
grab
the
the
road.
main dish that everybody's raving about? You've heard in the line. Everybody
So
talking
I
about
go
it.
and I take it and I leave.
No. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
I have a system for potluck.
We just
No, you do
we
not.
just
I
tasted
do.
that.
I do.
We just tasted that, right?
Okay.
The whole podcast has been that main hors d'oeuvre. No, not hors d'oeuvre. Main tray. Main. Whatever.
The main
entree.
dish.
Do you have any kind of side, something special for us, for our listeners to like enjoy a slice of
You mean some dessert?
dessert?
Do I
Nice
have
egg
some?
salad.
I have some
Egg salad.
cherry cobbler in the back. I was saving.
Okay.
What? You did not. Anyway, my system's on potluck.
Oh man.
If there's any bread item, it's going to be good.
What
Maybe.
a bread item? So
Bread
hang on.
items- bread items are-
in your brain. There's a category called bread item.
Yeah, that's my brain. Bread item.
Josh's brain is just a.
Brad. Any bread item.
court.
I'm just saying that the bread items have more of a, chance of being better than other categories of food
Okay.
in potlucks.
All right.
If there's any soup,
Fair.
I usually don't go for it.
What?
Any
I go
forms
for
of
the soup. I go for the soup.
I don't. I'm not a soup guy.
I like soup,
Soup is good.
especially if it's got the crunchies in it.
Yeah. If there's any
Go
mac
for
and
the brisket.
cheese, if
Brisket's
there's any
good.
mac and cheese, I'll consider it. But if there's mac and cheese with breadcrumbs on top of it,
No. You leave that for
100%
funerals.
yeah.
Funerals only.
oh.
Yeah.
Maybe the green bean casserole.
Yeah, green beans are always
Green
good.
beans can be good.
But I usually only grab the green beans out of good conscience.
But
'Cause I'm
man,
I should
that's
probably eat something healthy.
I never go for the egg salad because they don't make it
No.
like my grandma makes it.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, they always bring
salad-
the store-bought egg salad.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be careful because egg salad done wrong
Is terrible.
bad. It's toxic.
There's a fine line. You're either
There's
on the
a-
left side or on the right side.
Either only grandmas know how to make it, or very special moms.
Yeah,
Special moms.
if your mom can make good, you
With our
got a good
recipe-
mom.
If your mom can make good, you got a good mom.
Yo, dude, you got a good mom.
With our recipe though, we don't use as much mustard. Like so, you cut out some of the mustard. You still
Okay.
use some, but you use like a fraction of the amount,
Yeah, bring the mustard level down.
and use more of the mayonnaise instead.
Ah.
And that really brings out the flavor more.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sometimes it can be too eggy or like
Yeah.
saucy.
yeah. Any chicken items are pretty good.
Yeah.
Chickens, it
Yeah.
can be safe, but if
Sometimes-
it's undercooked,
yeah.
chicken can be
If
dangerous.
it's like cow
that's
meat
like
items.
anything.
That's true.
If it's like steak items,
Ooh, steak.
they could be good sometimes,
think
but
I've ever seen a
sometimes they
steak
mess it
at a
up.
potluck.
People
Steak is
don't
kinda
bring
gamey.
steak items to potlucks.
Only
like
brisket.
briskets.
I think I
Only
like
brisket.
A brisket, yeah.
Maybe brisket.
The only thing you bring to a
Hobo
potluck
stew.
are things that are usually in a pot.
That's
or
why
a
you-
casserole dish.
That's why you go for the soup. Soup is good.
Hobo soup.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
Especially if you add the
Well,
garlic.
soup can be a mistake because soup is usually too filling.
And
Yeah,
that's
'cause
a
it's a
bad
lot of
thing.
liquid.
Well, I
That's the
mean,
problem.
if you go to a potluck, you want to try everything, right?
No.
No.
I want to avoid everything and only get the one thing
There
that
is
I
that
want.
one thing you
there-
can do in potlucks where you take a single item from every single submission.
Listen, this ain't my home fridge. I don't want to look at everything.
I've done
I just
that
want
before.
I just want one thing.
And that's the soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, you could just be that guy that brings the KFC.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that guy.
that
But there's that one part where you get to, I don't know, maybe the center or usually at the start of the line where it's just 50 different salads.
Josh, how many potlucks have you been to in your life?
At least more than 17.
more than
At
you.
least.
Joshua, I remember going to potlucks a lot when we were in South Carolina.
I've been
When,
to
hey,
potlucks.
listen, if
I
you're a
have
homeschooler,
life.
if you're a homeschooler and you are a homeschooler listening to this, you know about the potlucks.
You know about it.
Oh, yeah.
You know about
you're
the
in the
family
South.
get together. If you're in the South, period,
Yeah.
For real.
that's probably all you eat.
I'm trying to
Potlucks.
think of the last time I was at a potluck. It was in Canada.
Was it
Same.
really?
Yeah.
Jordan's wedding rehearsal.
Oh yeah.
Not the wedding, the rehearsal.
Okay.
But before that, I can't think of a potluck I've been to. So I can't think of when a potluck.
I saw a
I
potluck.
can't think of when you went to a potluck.
Yesterday.
I can
Josh.
think of several
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was at the lake.
Christmas parties.
Like 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember all those.
Josh, how old were you 5 years ago?
Like 5
5.
years old. Plus 7. So 12.
Wow. So you thought about potlucks a lot.
Well, yeah, I never really liked them.
Oh, you
Why
don't.
not?
It's all
They're
the same
okay.
stuff.
You have
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
opinions about
it's
something you
the
don't like.
Same thing. It's like the same thing.
No,
Very-
it can be good.
it can be good.
So Max, do you have dessert for the podcast?
I do.
Okay.
All right. So the
I
scene
thought that
takes.
was it.
It better not be
Listen.
racist.
This is for our What's with the super
Yeah,
glue?
that's right.
I'll glue your mouth shut
Clay's holding. Clay's holding a super glue
to save
right
the
at me.
podcast.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay. The scene is set.
Okay.
It is dark. Well, it's starting to get dark. A little bit dark.
Like
the
right
sun is
now?
setting. No,
Yeah, it
the
is.
sun is setting. The
Oh,
sky's
okay, okay.
brown.
Yeah, right now.
The
You
sky's
guys-
brown.
Isaac, Clay, you guys are in a parking lot. It's a little bit drizzly.
Ooh, I like
Just a
this.
little
Yeah.
bit. And there's a weird smell.
Ooh,
Like
yeah.
you're at a Walmart parking lot and there's
Okay.
a funny smell. You know, like when rain starts and you're at a Walmart parking lot and you're like, something's funky.
Yeah.
Like some old guy stuck his cheesy feet in like a puddle and it just
And
It's cheesy feet.
and
Yes, feet made of cheese.
it christened the entire parking lot.
Wait, what
Wow.
kind of cheese? Gouda?
thank you for that picture.
Sure. We'll say yes. And then Isaac gets a scent in his nose that's different from the rest of the scents, and it's a burger joint.
Ooh.
And then
McDonald's.
Clay, do you smell that burger joint? You smell it. I said it's in my nose. I mean, other than the cheese feet smell, I'm detecting a hamburger joint.
No.
Real?
When I say hamburger joint, I mean like a place that sells them, not like a joint, like a marijuana.
You mean the actual
I
fast
understand.
food restaurant?
I can speak English.
You didn't need the clarification?
I speak a good English.
and then Josh drives by in a van.
What?
Okay.
I drive?
And he rolls down the window and he says, "Yo, guys."
Clay, who's that man?
Do I have a white
I don't know,
van?
but he's ugly.
Clay, do you know this man?
He's just got an undershirt on, that white undershirt, the wife beater.
What? I'm driving
And he's
a white
like,
van.
"That's me. That's my smell."
Really?
Josh, is that you?
Because fast food places drive trucks around or vans around, and they secrete that smell
It's
to get
fast
you
food.
get you hungry.
Dude, it's fast food.
Same.
It's in the
That one
car.
time we were painting for said beep, and we
Yeah.
smelled the
We were painting a house on Beep Street, and
beep.
and like 2:00 comes around,
Yeah.
that smell would come through my area,
Our area.
of residence,
Of place.
and
I'm gonna put like the Russian anthem over that. Our.
anyways, you guys are in the parking lot and you have a mission to feed your bellies.
Yeah.
But the weirdest thing, there's no cars in sight besides Josh's van, and the clouds turn green, and then little things start coming down like aliens.
I get in Josh's van.
What do you do?
Clay, let's get in Josh's van. Quick,
All right.
jump into Josh's
the
van.
You're gonna
Any
jump
way
in
to
Josh's
deal.
van.
Let's steal his van.
Josh, open the door.
Josh, what do you do?
Oh, open the door, Josh.
I opened the door.
Oh my goodness,
Nice.
you did.
I
just
pull
let
him
me
out of
in.
the driver's seat.
Oh wow,
I
MacGyver.
steal the car.
No.
Come on,
You
Clay.
realize Josh only has one
How do you
really
hijack
buff
me?
arm,
Do you-
but then the other arm is gone. So he's a one-armed buff man.
Good.
So he's like super strong, but he only has one arm.
I look out.
Okay.
I
I
look
like my
out the
odds.
window. I look out the window as we're driving away from this one-armed buff man.
You leave him out on the street.
I say, see you later, truck door.
Then
How
the
did you
aliens,
hijack
the aliens jump on Josh and he gets eaten.
How did you hijack me? Did you do like Halo hijacking a ghost
Well,
style? or Halo
I
hijack
didn't.
like
Clay
Banshee
did.
style?
Clay
Grand Theft
hijacked
Auto.
you.
Ugh.
Get out of there.
Get out of here.
yelled some
and
stuff
then you were like
Get out of the car.
running.
with his hand up in the air.
I'm gonna go call the police.
And then you realize your car is going down the road and it's just like pup, 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 and then it stalls. And you realize, oh, the gas tank is just filled with apple juice. What a jerk.
That
Because
one
they
arm.
take
That one
crap
arm
care of my
bandit.
car.
So yeah,
What a
then
loser.
you guys
Yeah.
get surrounded by aliens and die.
Wow.
You chose the wrong thing.
That was a good story, Clay.
You chose the wrong podcast.
Yep.
Wow. Thank you.
That was the dessert to go along with the podcast listeners. Yep.
That's pretty good.
You had a million different choices to make, and you chose kicking the one-armed guy out of the car, stealing his car,
yeah.
and
What
he
else?
died.
What else am I gonna do?
Go into Walmart, man.
Oh, there's a Walmart.
I told you you're in a Walmart parking lot.
I thought you said it was like a Walmart parking lot.
I said like you're in a Walmart parking lot.
I thought we were in parking lot land, and it was just
Oh.
parking lot.
I guess that was unclear.
Oh, hang on,
Pays
Josh.
for dumb
Yeah,
stuff.
people like that.
Do we have any questions from the Twitter?
No.
Oh, never mind.
Please donate to our Patreon. We need a better microphone.
Without our microphone money, we'll just have to keep
Our
using these juice
microphones are
boxes.
Terrible.
I'm stuck under this. I'm stuck under a bridge eating baby wipes. I need someone to donate.
That's pretty low. Eating baby wipes.
I want that T-shirt.
Under a bridge eating baby wipes.
Government baby wipes.
Government baby wipes, yeah.
Stuffing them in one by one.
Gross.
Are they at least scented?
I don't. I think they're the cheapest money can buy.
Do they taste good? Like, do you like them?
No.
No way. They taste like white jelly beans.
All right.
Oh man.
Because
Does anybody
white jelly
else?
beans are
Anybody have a final hoorah for us?
I think this whole past 15 minutes have been a final hoorah.
That's good.
Joshua, take us home.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to this very special episode of Tan Pants.
Like it, subscribe it, and watch for the next one because we're making more.
Don't forget to share it with your friends, share it with your mom, your dad, your dog, a frog on a log, in a hole in the pond.
Yeah. Good.
Josh says, yeah, good. Be sure to jump on Twitter and ask us questions. We'll answer them on the podcast.
On the
I
show.
will be like fast to answer them too,
Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
because I got nothing going on all day.
Oh yeah.
No responses to respond to.
That's a little depressing.
No, it's not. I actually have work to do.
Oh, okay. That's good.
We love you.
Okay.